sensational fans, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, surprise surprise, we're doing Reddit, a thing we've never done before. Which, it's new territory, I'm probably gonna be a little bit awkward, it's gonna be great. Oh, and did you notice, without headphones, my hair is jack shit. Like, you can't keep it down, it's crazy. This is the horrible truth about short hair. You cannot keep it down. But, whatever. I'll let it flow. Amazing water. Anyway, today we're doing Entitled Parents. Yes, r/Entitled Parents, the one area of Reddit where everyone shares their entitled parent stories and we all get to laugh at them. Ha ha ha. Anyway, of course, I need to send all of these, which is going to be a hassle. But whatever. You'll pick out the good ones. Okay. Entitled Mom thinks my storage is hers. On mobile. First post and I screw up. Entitled Mom thinks my storage is hers. I'm 43-year-old IT guy, divorced with 2 kids, girl 9, boy 7. I'm a member of a yacht club and own a small-ish 34 Baviera cruiser from 2008 next to my kids. She's my pride and joy. Every year I take 3 weeks vacation along with my kids and we go cruising for the better part of those 3 weeks. We have a small dinghy and that basically serves as our pickup truck food haul. Now, because of COVID, we couldn't go anywhere outside our home country, so we'll be tourists in our own country. And we went to cruise to all the small, cozy harbors we normally don't see. So, cruises ago, my son knows about the lines and knows how to dock and whatnot. My daughter is the dinghy skipper during this. She loves that thing. We always have our club pennant flying, as well as the Jolly Roger. Jolly Roger means, kids on board, come play. We leave our home port and spent a day and night at sea to get the sea legs growing, sharpen up our boat and drills. We're tired, Navy, can't help it. On our 3rd day, we arrive at a smallish marina, roughly 200 berths. In my country, calling ahead VHF is not a thing. So, the only thing to do is either going in with the boat or send the dinghy to spot for a berth. Now, occupied berths are marked with a red sign. Available is a green sign. My kids know this and are learning to spot a fitting berth. Our boat is 3.60 meters wide, and berths are different in width. So the trick is to spot a berth wider than 3.60, but not wider than 4 meters, because that's the golden difference. Any berth wider than 4 meters costs a ton of money and is meant for bigger boats. Well, Captain Dinghy was volunteering as always to scout ahead. Well, I and the XO were watching from just outside the inlet. She's equipped with, of course, light jacket, radio, not VHF, since that requires a certificate, and a good idea on how wide 3.60 meters really is. Our dinghy happens to be 3.5 meters long, so as long as she can fit the dinghy from end to end between the posts, it fits, including engine. Now, most people that hang around marinas are used to seeing children in dinghies and wouldn't raise an eyebrow over a 9-year-old girl in a small dinghy wearing a life jacket and looking for empty berths. However, not all people are like that, which we soon found out. She found one and radioed that back saying,
"I've got one, Daddy. It's a Jeep here, and I'm waiting for you here. Over. I fucked up the radio thing. It's a Jeep here, and I'm waiting for you here. Over."
I reply with, "Good job, en route now, Daddy out." The owners of the boat on either side are caring, nice older couples, and especially the portside neighbors, and completely stunned by Captain Dingy and her professionalism. They are small talking when we arrive at the berth and help mooring, for which I pay with cold beer and soda for the kids. Happy days all around. On the opposite side of the pier, a couple of boats are flying the Jolly Rogers, so the kids are off after a quick lunch. The berth directly opposite of us is also available, but knowing from experience, that will soon change. And how right I was! Later in the afternoon, we saw the arrival of HMS Karen and her sailing circus. They arrived while the nice grandparents next door and I were discussing nice marinas to visit in a matter of course. And as a matter of course, we stood by to help receive lines and help with mooring, to simplify their docking. It was a shit show. They had a trimaran, 3 hulls. The other 2 contract when you dock and extend when you sail. They know nothing about the boat, so clearly a rental boat. After 5 or 6 attempts of docking, with one side retracted, other side retracted, no side retracted, full power plus screaming all around, the harbor master even came down to join us. Now we stand 8 guys plus 1 harbor master, and just looking like, what the fuck are you doing? Even my 7-year-old son comes by with some new friends going, are they for real? Grandma Port quickly provided some ice and soda for the kids. She was amazing. We managed to convince them, the wrecking crew, to throw us the forward lines, and we could pull them in after they retracted both pontoons. They took the better part of 1.5 hours. When they finally docked, they acted like they invented boating. I know that docking in a foreign port can be quite difficult, but when you need 8 people to help you, one might keep a low profile. Not that couple, though. They were totally clueless on how to get shore power, water, and how to register with the harbor master, who happened to stand right in front of them when they docked. The harbor master is now trying to guide how to register, what to do regarding the shore power and water, and boy did they listen. HMS Karen started full yell about how they paid a lot of money to rent the boat, and how they expected harbor fees to be included in the rent, and to threaten to report the harbor master to the rental company they used to get him fired for trying to extort money from them. After her endless monologue, there were about 8 to 10 guys laughing. Just gut-busting laughter. The harbor master just looked at them and went, okay, these are the rules. Each marina requires a fee for docking. That fee covers power, water, and the space you occupy. It includes access to bathrooms, cooking facilities, and cleaning. Your rental company does not own any marina. Is that clear? The circus husband understood, but failed to convey the last part to HMS Karen, something we found out later the next morning. The next morning, we prepare to go underway. Kids are saying goodbye to their new friends. My son is pampered with cookies from Grandma Port and Starboard. Broken hearts from the young girls in the marina. He's got blonde hair with curls and green eyes. A heartbreaker. And Captain Dingy is getting ready to go underway. She's dressed in uniform for the part. Unicorn, PJ pants, swimwear, and life jacket. Here's where the title comes into play. We're finishing our stay, meaning pulling our shore power cable, testing lights and systems, throwing our bow thruster and prop, VHF and dinghy, while I'm standing at the stern ready to single up the line so my curly-haired XO can have an easy job. HMS Karen comes up running to me.
What are you doing?
Good morning. We'll get underway now. We're going to island recommended by Grandma Port. Enjoy your stay here.
What? You can't leave?
Pretty sure I can. Why wouldn't I?
Because we want that boat.
What? You want My boat? Lady, my boat isn't for sale, so excuse me. We have to go.
No, all boats are property of rental company. When we called them yesterday and chartered that boat, now hand it over or else.
Lady, you're nuts. To EXO, clear forwarding lines. To CD, meet up outside the marina, docking starboard side. Now, we're not attached to the marina anymore, so my son is rolling up the bow lines when HMS tries to grab the push pit to keep us in the marina. Well, she lost the battle. All stop, man, overboard! She comes up yelling and screaming. Starboard Granddad guided her on board the boat to ask what the hell she was doing, while Port Granddad called the harbor master. Is she okay? Both Granddad. Yes, we got her. Enjoy your trip. We'll see you in port. We leave and head for port, and oh boy did I hope she was a one-time Karen. I'll write part 2 when I get back from the boat, drying pillows, cushions, sails, and what nut is a real bitch. Now, that was the first bit. Now we go to second bit. Weird woman believes sailboats are public property, part 2. When we left the marina and recovered Captain Dinghy and the dinghy, we set sail for an island suggested by Grandma Port. The sail was pretty uneventful. EXO, my 7-year-old son, caught a fish and a nice 2-kilogram cod equals dinner. Next morning, we had an equally uneventful docking next to a nice young couple that were on their first cruise in their parents' boat. A nice 30-foot boat, beautifully maintained. Because the marina had floating docks, we reversed in and lowered the stern. For the usual post-docking exercise, fenders, line powers, tucking, we greeted the nice young couple next to us and checked out the marina. Jolly Roger still flying, so there was a couple of young pirates, kids, awaiting to see who the new recruits to the playground was. After a quick lunch, the kids were off. I was about to shut down the stationary VHF when I heard a call from the Coast Guard advising all marinas to keep a lookout for a stolen boat in the area, which was with a description vaguely matching my boat, as well as a couple hundred others. It's not something that happens every day, but it happens that a few human beings are confused about the mine, not mine concept. So I took a note of it and turned off the VHF. At around 1600 hours, 24-hour time, 4 p.m., I recognized a boat coming in and was pleased to see Grandma Port from the first boat post. Standing at the stern looking for a spot, I hailed them and saw a spot opposite ours, but with a red tag. A quick call to the harbor master later. It was owned by a local, but was available for 2 weeks. They just forgot to turn. 15 minutes later, both of them were sitting in the cockpit of my boat having a drink with our new friends from next door. Now this is Grandma Port's story. After we left, they got HMS Karen onto dry land. She was raging that we tried to kill her, and we'd stolen her own boat. She said, "Throw us into prison, throw away the key." Grandma Port was giggling and told her to calm down and that she did this to herself. And what was she thinking grabbing a boat pulling out? Grandma Port told her that to get on their boat, changing into something dry, and enjoy herself instead of making a fool of herself in front of her circus husband and their child. Now, I never saw the child, but apparently they had a toddler with them, and not a life jacket vest in sight. As one does, I checked in on the Book of Faces, and about 5 minutes later I got a text from a guy that I used to work with back in the Navy, asking me if I could supply a cold beer in about 10 minutes when he got off shift. One short trip to the mast and flags, Bravo Echo, first sub Romeo, so BE 1 small 1 R. I'm right, I think. Was flying. My friend arrived in uniform and asked where the hell his beer was at. We have known each other for the better part of 20 years. So he expected to get the "where the hell have you been" shipmate back. After hugging and the "how the hell are you" I introduced him to my new friends and grandparents. He definitely had Grandma Port on his good side because of the uniform. Even Grandpa Port started telling stories from back in the Navy. Sorry, if any of you are offended, I'm so sorry, but this is how I voice act. I never told them that I did other than IT. So they didn't know about my naval background and was quite amused when my friend told them that I was his old PO, petty officer. After the second round of flags, I asked about the call earlier from the Coast Guard. He's the chief petty officer of the nearby coastal watch station, and the way our Coast Guard and Navy works is that the Navy is in charge of the sea, but the Coast Guard enforces inside coastal waters. And oh boy, he got a call from local police reporting a theft and possible hijacking of a sailboat from last port. And reported from an enraged woman with a description of the boat similar to ours. And that the harbor master knew about it. Grandpa Port just about left half his drink through his nose when he heard that and started to raise his voice at my friend in defense and told him what actually happened. That HMS Karen was nuts, and that she tried to grab my boat after we pulled out the slip. That she was a complete waste of air. Thanks, Grandpa. My friend, that was you? I don't know. Oh my god, that was you. So, now what? No worries, I'll call it off and talk to my captain in the morning. Me, great, noticing a police officer walking to our boat. Can you do it now? Now, have any of you heard of the phrase, "the Navy is a small place"? It turned out that my friend was the officer's instructor at a boot camp, as I was his. Sorry, Chief. The Navy handling this? My friend. Hi, name. How are you? Care to explain? PO, police officer. Well, we had a report of the theft of a boat, and the harbor master told us that the boat fitting the description pulled in this morning. My friend, well, let's check this out then, shall we? My friend, OP, you have your certificates and proof of insurance and ownership with you, right? Me, sure, hands PO with binder of certificates. PO, well, nothing to worry about here. But have you, by chance, seen the boat in question? Before I can say anything, my Grandpa Port interjects. Grandpa Port, officer, if that report came in from a wet, loud, white woman, I have a story to tell you. Grandpa Port, explain story from previous port. PO, okay. Chief, are you backing this up, my friend? As sure as you wouldn't like to go at the pit at boot camp. Oh, I've heard about the pit. I don't want to go in there. PO, right, Chief? Sorry to bother you guys. But, you know how it is. He left after that and things turned back to normal. Kids got home, dinner, bedtime, sundower with the neighbors, who now had a lot to talk about. I'm so glad that this story actually had a happy ending.